Hey guys, Grifton here, and today I want to talk about Retribution Paladin changes and how it affects, or maybe just frustrates, uh, Feral Druids, or maybe just me. I just want to get this out there. Maybe I'm completely wrong, maybe I'm off base, but I'd love to hear some feedback so I maybe have a better understanding of how you guys feel or how everybody feels. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me switch over here. There was a change made for Retribution Paladins. Essentially, it's allowing them to use the Hand of Reckoning as a Ret Paladin to boost their DPS by getting the Glyph of Reckoning that takes the taunt feature away, allowing them to do more damage. Now they go into this whole thing explaining why roughly they want to be on par with Fury Warriors, and it has zero impact on PvP, smoothing out the poor gameplay, all kinds of stuff. Oh, because they made two changes. They actually made one to Holy Vengeance and Blood Corruption. Now affects the Seal of Vengeance, Seal of Corruption may be applied to Divine Storm and Crusade Strike in addition to normal melee hits. Essentially, they boosted their buffs. It's good for them. Uh, first, let's talk about this comment because maybe it only frustrated you or me, but it says give Retribution Paladins a slight bump to bring them roughly on par with Fury Warriors. Here's the DPS chart. You can't find it. Fury Warrior is right here. Oh, this brown line right here. Retribution Paladins are right here. So if they bring them up to here, the lowest DPS would now be a Feral Druid. Now this isn't just a Feral Druid. These are top Feral Druids doing bear weaving, snake weaving, flower shifting, every kind of weird mechanic just to be the bottom DPS now. That is absolutely insane that they fixed Ret Paladins and Feral Druids are like, nah, you're fine. Now, before you say Beast Mastery, Frost Mage, Arms Warrior, Subtlety Rogue, and Gladiator Warrior, they consider all of these PvP, and they actually expressly name them off in right somewhere. I'm not gonna find it, but they do. They list them off and say those ones don't count. No, they do not mention Feral Druids, even though they've just moved them. Frost Mages, Subtlety Rogues, Arms Warrior, and Beast Mastery Hunters are all at or below the output of Retribution PvE, and it'd be easy to point to this and say, what about insert spec here? That's fair, and this very argument was the motivator for us holding off on making changes. A key argument that swayed us, however, is that all those classes have viable alternatives in PvE or DPS. So first of all, their argument for Arms Warriors is they can go Fury Warrior, the low bar they're using to determine where Retribution Paladins need to be brought up to. Cool. And Feral Druids are underneath Fury Warriors. I just want to get that out there. Again, while doing bear weaving, a mechanic that was not intended for Feral Druids. So the point, you can read through this whole thing. It's absolutely frustrating as a Feral Druid to read. Why would they fix Retribution Paladins and not look at Feral Druids? Because, yes, they said that Retribution Paladins, they don't have an alternative. They do. It's called Holy Paladin or Prot Paladin. Not just a tank and a healer, the best tank and the best healer in the game. Both of them. Unarguably. Unarguably. The two best classes in the game. The third one they boosted. Now you go to Druids and we have a subpar healing. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Rest of Druids are really good healers, but they're the first you cut from a healing slot in a raid. They're the ones you don't really worry about in a 10-man. We got a Resto Druid. That's fine, I guess. We'd rather have a Shaman or a Priest or even a Holy Paladin. Literally how it goes. The Balanced Druid, yes, they are great. And sometimes they even bring two now, mostly for their AoE, but for their boss damage, they are maybe B tier. That's the reality. Feral Druid's bottom of the thing, but hey, we've got the ability to tank. Feral tanks, right? Except the only reason you bring a Feral tank is because the alternative is to bring a Blood DK, and the Blood DK could be an Unholy DK. So if you look at this chart, let me switch it back over really quick. You've got Feral Druid down here, and Unholy Death Knight right here, way up at the top. If you had to make one of them stop doing DPS and tank instead, what would you pick? Yeah, it has very little to do with tank ability. It has more to do with the fact that they can't pump. So Unholy Death Knights can. They don't have to tank. And if you're running a Prot Paladin DK, chances are people are like, why don't we have the Feral tank? Or more likely you have a Feral tank and they never get to DPS. So this is frustrating for me, listening to them going, oh, we need to fix Ret Paladins because they're the only viable DPS spec. And like, yeah, man, what about Ferals? We're literally doing the weirdest stuff just to be on par with the bottom of the barrel, and you've boosted the only class that on this list we're better than. That's it, guys. Sorry if it sounds like a rant, but I really want to get this discussion out there and maybe get some feedback and hear what you guys think. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Let me know in the comments below. Keep it civil. Thanks, guys. Take care.